December 2018, CROSSFIRE Stars begins a new fight. CFS 2018 will gather 24 top teams from 11 regions around the world in Taitung and Nanjing, China for Project S. December 4th to 6th, the group stage matches, the tournament stage quarterfinals, and semifinals will take place in Taitung. December the 8th, event matches for CROSSFIRE HD featuring top teams will be awaiting in Nanjing. December the 9th, the CROSSFIRE Legends tournament along with the CROSSFIRE final matches will determine the CFS 2018 World Champions. Guns are locked and loaded, and players are ready for an intense clash. CROSSFIRE Stars 2018, together in Taitung and Nanjing, China. Together, roaring with enthusiasm inside the arena of battle. Together, making history to become the true legend of CROSSFIRE.
I'm Jonathan XMSX Holland. I'm from North America on the team Carbon, and I've been playing professionally for 5 years, since 2013, and my position on the team is team captain.
I'm Flitch. I'm from Colombia. I have been playing CROSSFIRE like 8 years ago. In the team, I have the role to manage my team, and I'm attacker too.
Hi. Oi, meu nome é Daniel, eu jogo profissional há 2 anos, sou suporte da Black Dragons e estou representando o Brasil.
How I started playing back in 2013 professionally was pretty funny, because I was playing with a group of my friends at first, and we were just playing in the Pro League, and we weren't expecting to win, we were just having fun. And I was just dominating everybody. So the #1 team back then was Carbon, actually, and they were just looking at me and they were like, wow, this guy has, you know, the best, I don't know, stats, statistics in the Pro League, and we're looking for one. We want to make sure that we secure the CROSSFIRE Stars spot for that year, the #1 place in North America for CROSSFIRE Stars. And so they picked me up in order to secure that.
I knew about this game in 2012 because all my friends played that. So also I want to play that, and that's my favorite game since 8 years ago. At the beginning, this game was a hobby, but later I want to be a professional. That's why I have to be dedicated and disciplined and love for play this game, and meet a lot of people who is good in the game, because I learn a lot of things about other people too.
A coisa mais louca que eu fiz foi quando, há 2 anos atrás, eu decidi sair do quartel, que era uma vida que eu podia seguir carreira militar, e era uma certeza na minha vida para poder me dedicar ao CROSSFIRE. Eu servi ao Exército Brasileiro, aí eu saí do Exército para jogar CROSSFIRE profissional. No Brasil a gente tem um campeonato que se chama Liga de Acesso. Quando você vence, você se torna um profissional, começa a jogar com os times mais fortes. E no final de 2016 eu joguei esse campeonato junto com o Viana, atual capitão da Black Dragons, e a gente conseguiu vencer, e foi aí que eu comecei minha jornada como profissional.
At the beginning, when I started to play, my mom was disagreeing because I played CROSSFIRE. But later, when I started to travel, to win, to increase my popularity in this game, she agrees now. Yes, and she is very happy because I play CROSSFIRE.
Foi uma decisão muito difícil, porque na época eu fazia faculdade e eu pagava a faculdade com um dinheiro do Exército. Então meio que foi um choque para eles, mas eu tinha confiança em mim mesmo, que tudo ia dar certo, e eu batalhei pelo meu sonho, e graças a Deus, desde então eu tenho conseguido bons frutos dessa decisão.
So even back when I dropped out of college in 2013, my mother, because I only have my father's out of the picture, so my mother, she was still supportive of me, but she wasn't too happy that I did that, you know, but she was still supportive. She said, you know, you go do what you want to do, and if it doesn't work out, you come back and you go to college. So I would say 2 things that CROSSFIRE has really done for me that I appreciate. #1 is it's satisfied my competitive spirit, where I've always enjoyed just competing and trying to be the best in something, and CROSSFIRE has done that for me, and I love it. And the #2 thing is I've always loved to perform for people and you know, impress people and gain fans and things like this, just be popular. It's always something that makes me happy. and so I love all my fans.
The most important skills in the game are communication, good accuracy, work team. That's it. If my team have it, we can win all the time.
Eu acho que o CrossFire me deu muita coisa, porque eu fiz 21 anos já e eu não esperava que eu pudesse viver tanta coisa que o CrossFire me trouxe. Como, por exemplo, conhecer a China, morar na China, conhecer outros países do mundo e conhecer pessoas novas também. Então, acho que eu sou muito grato a Deus por ter conhecido o CrossFire e por estar onde eu estou hoje.
I'm very thankful with this game because it gave me the opportunity to know new friends, to meet new places, and completely changed my life. Thank you for.
Eu queria agradecer ao jogo por tudo que me proporcionou e dizer parabéns. Apesar do jogo estar há muito tempo, o jogo sempre foi muito bom e eu espero sempre que continue melhorando.
Thank you for providing me the opportunity to go on all these trips. I love coming to China, and I love playing at these tournaments, and it means the world to me. And also thank you to CrossFire for providing so much fun for me and my friends. There's so many things for us to do. We have late nights, laughing, eating good food, drinking, playing some CrossFire. It's been great. Thank you, CrossFire.
Hello and welcome back to CFS 2018. It's day number 2 and we're about to round out our group stages before heading into tomorrow's tournament bracket. We've locked in our 4 top-seeded teams, 1 from each group, and now it is time for our lower bracket finals. And as we do that, we bring in 2 fresh faces onto the desk. Jordan and Ian, you've been watching a lot of CrossFIRE this morning. What are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything's been pretty good, really. Yeah. So far, we're down to our final 4 matches. We've got 4 more slots to go. So really starting to heat up now as we're into the stages where if you don't win, you're essentially done.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot on the line, trying to come through, lock yourselves in to a quarterfinal slot. Ian, any surprises for you this morning?
I was just going to say, I think everything's kind of gone to plan, really, hasn't it? No Chinese upsets or anything like that. No. They've all come through first in their groups. I think the Brazilian teams have done outstandingly well. I think coming into this INTZ as well, taking Super Valiant to overtime, that was pretty impressive. So yeah, apart from that, it's been pretty much expected, right?
Yeah.
Are there any teams other than INTZ, because they would have been one of mine? So INTZ and Execration are probably the 2 teams that I would want to talk about as doing quite well, considering who they've gone up against. As we have a look at this game, it's Flipside up against Kauai. We'll move across to this and.
Yep.
Look, this is a rematch from yesterday. This was the nature of Group A. We knew that this was what it was going to look like coming in. Obviously, not having Anubis here means that Flipside and Kauai went up against each other yesterday. Flipside came through on top, lost their upper bracket final game, and now drop back down to play Kauai once again.
Yeah, that was on Mexico when Kauai and Flipside played yesterday, 7-10, the way of Flipside. Now we're going to be moving over onto a new map that we haven't seen so far in this event just yet, Ankara. So I think that match, we were sort of talking about it in saying that Flipside and Kauai, that really could have gone either way, and it did seem like that when we did actually watch the match as well. So 7-10, fairly close result. I don't think that, coming into this one, I would necessarily be expecting Flipside will run away with it too easily. I definitely think that Flipside's going to have to put in some more work here as well, and I think that Kauai showed potential as well to beat Flipside. So for me right now, I'm not really sure who I think is going to come out of this one with the win and who's going to be going home.
For me, coming into that game, I mean, at the end of it, I was saying, look, if Flipside had to verse Kauai again, I'm not sure they would win, to be honest. Yeah. It was a real comeback from behind, and it was just, I think it was just, a circumstance that really got them across the line. 7 with a lot of clutches and Blame with that huge amount of kills towards the end. So if it wasn't for that, they'd be donezo. So coming in today, I think they need to do a lot better across the board for the team, make a few better decisions here and there. But at the same time, Kauai need their whole team to step up.
Yeah, as we take a look at this Kauai team, I guess the other thing that we can talk about here as well, Jordan, is that, again, because of the nature of Group A, Kauai has played just 1 game. They have only played Flipside, and now they've had 24 hours to take a break, and they're back in up against Flipside again. Flipside, on the other hand, had to play Q9 later on last night, and they came out with a 10-7 loss. To be fair, maybe something we expected to see from them. So I don't know which is the bigger advantage, playing the same team again after only having just played them, but having 24 hours, or coming through with a win and then a loss.
Yeah, you'd be pretty unhappy if you played 2 games against the same opponent, lost both, and then you're going home. So for Kauai, that's definitely what they want to avoid at this point. I mean, I think right now what Ian just touched on there was that Kauai need to have multiple players stepping up, which is not really what we saw for them against Flipside when we first saw them play. It was really just Clarence and Alejo actually doing all of the heavy lifting, but the other 3 players really didn't seem to step up too much for Kauai. So I think that's something that they really need to change here.
Flitch was on like 0 kills for a lot of the second half as well. So, I mean, that was really a thorn in their side. So coming into this game, obviously it's a different map as well, though, Jordan. I think that'll definitely benefit Kauai. I think Flipside are particularly good at Mexico, so I wasn't really sure how it would go on another map, and I think today we're going to find out.
Yeah, if we go through how Kauai went yesterday, I think Felix 7-13. It's probably not a score that you'd be looking to replicate going up against Flipside again. When Flipside did win this game, it was, I think, on the back of 7 and Blame. 7, you guys were saying, was your MVP. Blame came out with the top frags.
Yeah.
And both of them really, it felt like they stepped up, even though they had probably a poor start, though, to kick off that game.
They did. It definitely sort of felt like they had to come back from behind. And both Ian and I sort of thought that it was 7 that was the proponent of that success. I mean, Blame definitely had impact on the scoreboard, but I think, you could look at the most valuable player maybe and say that was Blame, but if you look at the most impactful player, I think it's fair to say that was 7. He had multiple rounds where he clutched out against the odds and was able to, I think personally, win 2 or 3 rounds there for Flipside. So I think he definitely deserves some raps. for being able to put his team in a good winnable position, and eventually they finished it off. So I don't know, can you expect that kind of a performance again from those individuals on Flipside? You know, can you expect multiple 2v1 or 3v1 clutches out from Seven? I don't think it's fair to kind of put that weight on his shoulders. So
no.
I also want to see the rest of Flipside sort of stepping up here and making maybe the life of Seven a little bit easier.
Particularly when you're talking about playing that order role, that in-game leader, where you know you've got other pressures that aren't just clicking heads in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to tell everyone what to do. You've got to micromanage. It's up to you to adapt. You know, and obviously you do a lot of, as much as you can in training. And you can see Seven here just reinforcing things to his team. Okay, like when this happens, we do this. When that happens, we do that. And this will be our plan of attack for when we're on the attacking side. So yeah, he's doing all of that. And then as well, yesterday to come in and have that huge impact in every single clutch situation. And then having to rally the team behind him as if to say, look, if I can do this, you guys definitely can.
Well, it's our first lower bracket final. Flipside up against Kauai. The winner heads through to tomorrow's quarterfinals at the second seed in Group A. The loser is unfortunately eliminated from CFS 2018. Gents, let's get into the action.
Yeah, definitely a lot to look at here in Flipside or Kauai. I don't know which side you are standing on. This time you said Flipside. Last time I said Kauai. Last time I suppose. But I think really we were both in agreement that it was going to be a close match, and I think this is going to be a close match.
I think, yeah, we might even be in store for an overtime here. But getting off to the start. Look, do you put your money where your mouth is there, Jordan?
What do you want me to say? A prediction?
Yeah, why
I'm going to go with Kauai again. I think Flipside did look very
Second time's
good.
a charm.
Yeah, but I mean, look, Flipside had a few rounds personally from Seven and a couple of clutches that went their way. I think maybe if those didn't quite go their way, then Kauai might have finished things off, and those are not always things that you can necessarily expect to happen multiple times.
I think you might be right there, I know, especially particularly on this map. It seems like it would be very suited to the way that Kauai play. And I believe, actually, just getting like a flashback from last year, this might be the map that F3 went out on. So I might be wrong there, but I do remember Flipside struggling against one of the Chinese teams on this map. But I mean, everyone really does. But it broke down in the strategy, not really in the aim duels. Whereas yesterday, I felt like Flipside were falling back a little bit on the aim duels.
Yeah, definitely. And at the moment, they are not winning those, as Felix will find a kill onto Dennis, leaves it all onto Blame. 1v4 in a post-plant scenario, trying to retake the side. He's done well to get two. Can he progress on further and find a couple more? Pushing up forward, will get one. The second turning around and just finishing it off for Kauai. Seems like the comms there for Kauai a little bit shaky, but in the end, they get the job done.
Yeah, Blame almost resurrecting the team's chances for Flipside early on, but Kauai managed to scrape away with that first round. And there was a bit of a scrap fight, to be honest, Jordan, towards the end. The setup here, the very aggressive stance by Blame.
Wow.
Yep, beautiful work.
Being helped out there by Dice, who chimed in with one of his own. For Kauai, that leaves only two players alive. Now just the one, as Dice will finish off Alejo.
I wonder if they'll overcommit and give up a 1v4 situation again today.
Well, wouldn't be out of the realms of possibilities. We've seen it. We've seen 1v5s as well in this tournament, Ian. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Felix has a chance here. Had a fairly decent first round. A couple of kills for him in that one. Yet to get on the board in this round.
Well, this is the perfect bounce back for Flipside. Coming to the second round, not messing around. Look at the three-man hit squad. They love this, don't they? Just three men just roaming around together for that trade. Should hopefully prevent a catastrophe if we're all together. But the B site is open. Felix hunting for any nearby defenders who might be able to pounce on him once he starts to plant that C4, but unable to find any. Plenty of time left on the clock.
Yeah, really just wants to try and find some 1v1s. Ideally, if he can get a kill or two before Flipside's able to trade, turn it into a 1v1 or a 1v2, the odds are going to be much more in his favor. He does at least have control of the C4 right now. Flipside don't need to be doing anything. Just waiting for Felix to plant the bomb. What he's trying to do is take the fight. But unfortunately, he will peek the wrong angle. Tries to finish him off. Easily done there for Flipside.
Did seem pretty perplexed there at the end, didn't he? Really, he's like, come on, I've just checked the entire B site. Why would they leave that open? But unfortunately, the timing is off and gets punished. And like I said, Flipside are going to even it up early on. And Flipside very aggressive so far on the defense.
Yeah, right now, quite a lot more utilities headed over toward the B side or just out of the B side. And Flipside having a look, not seeing too much from Kauai. Quite a bit of information there.
Yeah, might be just what they need to push Kauai towards this bomb site, which B might look like a bit of a trap at this point. And Kawhi are going to walk right into it.
Yeah, Dice has a bit of work to be doing. If Kawhi do end up heading in here, Alejo opening up onto Blame with the sniper. That's what Kawhi had a lot of success with yesterday. Now making their way into the site proper. Flitch leading the charge, spamming away through the boxes. And it'll be Felix and Clarence to actually find the frags, but that's good enough for Kawhi as it does open the site up. And 7 once again finds himself in a 1v5.
Yeah.
This time with the sniper, not what he's necessarily been known for.
And interestingly, look, just a flawless take onto that B site as well. Not a single player lost for Kawhi. Really just devastating that defense, overwhelming it with raw numbers. But at the same time, for everyone to be dead, they must have rotated across fairly early, right? So an accurate read by Flipside, but they just still weren't able to do anything. So worrying signs there for them.
Yeah, definitely a good entry from Kawhi. Just overwhelming Flipside with their numbers and with their pace as well. Obviously, it helps when your sniper is able to get the opening frag as well in the round.
Yeah, and their utility usage was spot on. You could see Flipside were completely blind, and even the counter utility from Flipside wasn't good enough.
Again, a very similar strategy for Flipside. Not too bad, though, because it does sort of lock down the B side of the map, and then a very quick rotation into middle as well for Flipside. So a lot of map control. Again, going to funnel Kawhi towards to the B site, away from the A site.
See if Alejo's even able to open up again.
Well, the information is given a little bit earlier this time, I think, for Flipside. But Flitch and Clarence charging on forward. Favor, he's been in a sneaky position, and Kawhi had no idea. He'll get all 3. Still alive right now for Kawhi is Alejo. Still a chance. But Flipside have done a much better job this time.
Some beautiful shots coming up from F3, though, to get this round even as close as it is. Obviously, Favor with that bait and switch tactic as well, working out a charm, but still coming down to this 1-on-2 situation for Alejo. He's got the C4. Time is on his side. 7 has the AK now.
That was very impressive from Alejo yesterday. Particularly on the defense, but so a little bit tougher for him this time, I think. But
yeah, so it looks like the strategy here for Flipside in these clutch situations is to stop this choke point, this rotation hole here between the 2 bomb sites, so they can rotate to A or B depending on where the bomb is planted, nice and quick, and they're going to react as a team. And what that also works well to counter is, like we saw last time, if Alejo goes on a bit of a hunt for them, they're still together and they're in the middle of nowhere, and it'll be hard for Alejo to double kill with the Orm. That sniper rifle.
If he can get the bomb down, then he can get a nice post-plant position and
play
the angles.
Well, even if he can play forward and get a nice kill first and then fall off. Oh, there you go. The thing is, that's going to allow Dennis to come to 7 of where his location is, and then they'll be able to work together this way. And there you go. Just like that. You could see 7 was ready for the trade. Alejo with a bit of a wide peak, but forgiven.
I mean, if he hits that shot, I think that there's a good chance that he wins the 1v1. He should be able to back away behind the box before 7 can get that trade.
And 7 can also shoot through the box, don't forget.
That's true. Well, anyway, 2 apiece.
Yep.
Quite even at the moment, as expected. We thought this was going to be a close match.
Yeah. The aggression from F3 has slowed down just a little bit, though.
This is change up now from Kawhi and from Flipside.
Waiting to see this A aggression, though. Do you remember what we saw towards the end of last year where people were smoking that archway and then flashing over and coming through the smoke in groups of 3, really just catching the other team off guard completely? But
more mid-presence this time from Flipside.
Yep. Blamed on the ramp and no one above, though. That's the strange part for me. A lot of control from Kawhi given to Flipside. That's why they're able to rotate between these 2 bomb sites so far. You can see how far back Kawhi are. They're aware something is going on, but just not sure what. I just remember how hard this A site was to hold from these side alley attacks. But a lot of teamwork being the emphasis here for Flipside. You can see you've got pairs of players across the map with 7 just on his own, ready to help out either team. Kawhi slow and steady, trying to bleed out some utility from F3, trying to force a mistake. Minute left now. Bit of a slower map, this one.
Yeah, Flipside almost fully rotating over to the B bomb site right now.
Yeah. Well, again, another read. They do have Dennis pushed up fairly far. And Favor as well. I mean, they're biting. Clarence, the car salesman, is selling this fake towards B.
He's managed to get 2 kills as well in the meanwhile, Ian, still keeping a third interested. It's Favor and 7 all of a sudden on their own for Flipside. Favor managing to get 2, 7 another one as Clarence does fall, and Alejo needs this kill. He'll get it, and that'll allow the bomb plant to go down on A. A bit of a spanner in the works there for Kowai.
Yeah.
7 in a 1v2.
I don't know if I'd be doing that up against Alejo, but
No.
still, great work by Favor to hold the A site single-handedly, but is it enough?
Well, the information is now given over to Kowai, so I suspect that for 7, it's not going to be enough. And Felix, the jumping shot, gets the job done. Superman, once again.
Extra points for style.
So far, it's been 1 round for Kowai, 1 round for Flipside, and then on and on.
Really?
So they've just been trading.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the look of that. That we're going to see the same sort of close game we saw yesterday. But the thing for me is in that close situation, that's where Kowai come out on top. When they are going round for round. And really, if it wasn't for a bit of fortune, F3 would have fallen behind in that first game. So
far, they're hanging in there. Starting off this round well as Clarence has gone down, and he's such a star performer, but missing the shot is 7. That allows Pablo the chance to get a kill. Flitch finds 1, spots 2. The information certainly there for Kowai at the moment. And again, they're going to try and push forward, take the challenge against Blame, and that hasn't worked out nicely for them at all. A double kill for him. Puts it into a 3v2, favoring Flipside. Favor finds Flitch, but doesn't get the kill. Kowai starting to gain control of this bomb site. Difficult still to get the bomb down through the smoke. Dennis will spot Flitch. Takes his head off. It's just Alejo left.
Such a great map for individual effort, isn't it, really? You can see how comfortable Dennis is going for that fight as well to prevent the plant down on the B site.
Oh, Alejo trying to be very cheeky here, pushing on forward, trying to find a 1v1 before he plants the bomb. Still has plenty of time to work with, but might actually be able to wrap all the way into the A bomb site.
Yep, just like last time. And then maybe he can plant out in the open and try and snipe off one of the defenders as they rotate across through that that tunnel. Ooh.
Oh, I don't mind this.
No, we've seen it done. Remember, even with pistols, you can defend well from here.
I can recall Revenge pulling off a 1v3 clutch from here last year.
Yeah. Oh, Revenge, wasn't he style? He was just pure style.
They've got no idea yet. Dennis will eventually spot Alejo and does win the aim battle. A close thing, but Flipside will win the round. So again,
teamwork makes the dream work.
Backwards and forwards between the two teams.
It's hard for probably Kowai to pinpoint what went wrong there. You've got 7 who lets them into the bomb site, gives them free passage by missing that timing on the shot on the entry. And then still it came down to just Blame and Dennis, really. Huge individual efforts. But this time they're not messing around. Straight down the middle. Going to clear it out. F3 not opting for any aggression this round. Or at least not yet.
That's probably a good thing as well if Alejo is going to be watching this angle when Flipside start to push through. A bit of a turkey shoot for him.
Yep.
Much better across the board from Kowai so far. Everyone getting involved, not just the 2-man show.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, but at the same time, it's their mid-round that's falling apart.
Alejo does get 7 early on in the piece.
It's quite an important kill to get as well.
Just missing the timing there onto Dennis, who will get the information and backs away into the site, but he is still on his own, so calling for some rotates at the moment.
No, he isn't, actually. Everyone else is just going to stay. They know how Kowai play now. It'd be, Kowai are obviously expecting backup for Dennis, but not necessary. And now it's going to come down to Dice and Blame again. They've got this bait and switch set up. Alejo, good opportunity here to get Dice on a peak if he's patient enough. Or if they're just going to flash over the top and rush in while their opponents are blind. Clarence heading in first. The point man for Kowai.
Well, Dice spots them out, so Flipside now know what is going on. The jig is up for Kowai, and they just need to enter the site strongly, but Blame.
Oh, Blame.
1 for 1, not too bad there for Flipside. They still need to manage to equalize, and at the moment they're being overrun. Clarence will push on forwards, getting Dice. It's again a trade 1 for 1, but that's more than enough for Kowai at the moment. With that player advantage, they're still in a good spot here. Finally, Dennis will equalize. Brings it back to a 2v2. The bomb dropped on the floor here for Kawhi. Not so easy to retrieve and plant, but inevitably they should get that job done. Clarence covering off. Still, Kawhi try to take these battles. It's Clarence to finish off Dennis. A 2v1 now, but Favor has spotted out Clarence. And Flitch tagged down very low. It's a 1v1. Taking the timing, the wide peak. Works out perfectly for Kawhi. And the round will go their way. But a very close thing.
Nice. Sigh of relief there from Flitch, having a lot more impact in this game as well. So he'll be happy with that, being able to do his part for Kawhi. And everyone's chilling in the spawn at the moment.
Yeah, looks like a disconnect on the side of Kawhi.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting that sorted out fairly shortly. But I mean, Ian, right now, this doesn't seem too different to what we watched on Mexico in the sense that the match is very close. You know, by the end of Mexico, we saw it was very close. At the start, it was very one-sided, but so far things are pretty much going neither way necessarily.
It's hard to tell the two teams apart at the moment in terms of what they've changed from yesterday and what difference the map is making from obviously Mexico. For me, I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot of defensive sniping coming out from Flipside.
No.
Alejo is getting the better of it at the moment.
But I think that's more of a tendency of just Flipside's playstyle rather than anything else. I mean, Seven, he was quite comfortable just running around with the rifle.
Yeah, and that first round that Flipside won was through that raw aggression over towards the ramp. And obviously Blame going absolutely nuts obviously helps, but yeah, just one of those things. I mean, I would like to see, you know, some sort of mix-up from Flipside because this B bomb side is getting targeted time and time again. There hasn't been one attack purely sent towards the A site yet. And I mean, look, they're reading that. They are sending the majority of their players towards the B site for the defense, but just something about the way that they lose the round towards the end. You know, that last part of the round, they're just not able to seal the deal. Trying to come through the one choke point together, it's just not really working out for them. A lot of individual battles as well for that B site. You saw once Dice spotted them out, he does the counter flash for Blame to peek, but Blame really just makes a meal of it, overcommits. So food for thought for Flipside. I mean, they're not out of it yet, obviously, but at the same time, they're making a few mistakes here and there, and they're being punished for them every time by Kawhi. This could be a different game so far.
So you're getting a bit of a sense maybe that Kawhi is coming out a little ahead in these exchanges, even despite the scoreline being so close.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's 4-3 at the moment for Kawhi. I mean, every single time we've seen Kawhi pick up a round, Flipside has responded. But it feels like all it takes is, you know, just that one round just where Kawhi's going to be able to break it.
Battle of attrition, really,
get a couple in a row, and then Flipside might be done. Straight back into the game. Good to see. Kawhi with more presence toward A this round.
That grenade just decimated Flitch. Okay, now we are going to see an A attack here. It comes from Clarence on point.
Well, Favor and Flitch having a bit of a battle, but it's Favor to come up with 3 kills. The trades do come across for Kawhi.
And they're not committing too fast to it either with the big flank coming in from Flipside.
Well, Clarence is not going to be too keen about that one. Grenade does go a little bit awry. Need to be aware of Blame coming around the back. Clarence having a look for that, but hasn't seen it, and that may cost Kawhi. They'll continue to push on forward here, and Seven will take the challenge.
Can he do it again?
Call with the first, and Clarence. Let's take a long aim battle, but Seven wins it. And
there you go.
Once again, a 4th round now for Flipside. It'll be 5-4 at the end of the half, whichever way it goes. So
and that's that captain's influence as well. So that's good for Flipside. That'll give them a bit of bravado, a bit of something to work behind.
Here's some aggression from Kawhi now on the A side of the map.
At the same time, look, Flipside pushed up very far here. I feel like Kawhi are reading into it a bit, though. Maybe just a flash from Felix before rotating off towards the A side. They're going to try for an A hit again, or at least perhaps go through middle and try and pincer onto that site.
Well, they may come out behind Flipside, so I don't necessarily know that they're going to expect the positions of Flipside right now. Clarence doing a good job of getting info, clearing a lot of angles right now. So much room being given to Kawhi.
Yeah.
They've infiltrated Flipside's territory.
It's going to make it very difficult for Flipside to rotate back and retake the site together.
Alejo spotted one as well, so the info is now definitely given to Kawhi. This is bad news for Flipside. Retaking the bomb site 5v5, but Kawhi have had plenty of time to set themselves up post-plant. Pablo here might even set himself up for 2 kills. First will present itself. Dennis somehow with the 180 flick, is going to be able to turn around and get a few. Felix chiming back in, gets a couple for himself as well. But Alejo will fall as well. 2v1, Felix with the bomb down, 15 seconds on the clocks. Flipside need to be quick here, and Felix will go down. And it's Flipside in the end, the ones that are able to find 2 in a row. And
or because of that,
their own.
or probably because of that whiff by Pablo, and nice work there by Felix to get the double trade back onto Dennis and such, but ultimately the numbers game wasn't in their favour. Really good round there. I reckon Kawhi just confused how they lost that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you would be. I mean, you got the site for free. You had plenty of time to set up, ready, waiting for Flipside, and somehow they come away with a pretty comfortable loss in the round, actually.
Yeah.
Not at the end of the day,
didn't look like Flipside even broke a sweat in that last round, to be honest. Even despite, having to retake 5-on-5, bomb already down, time against them. So, yeah, look, to me, though, that slow, methodical style that Flipside are playing is all great and everything, but I feel like Kawhi's aggression on their defense might upset Flipside. I don't know if they'll be ready for it. We'll have to wait and see, though.
One last half for these two teams.
Flipside, fairly strategic team.
I mean, you're thinking right now, this is the second day of the Grand Finals, CrossFIRE Stars Grand Finals 2018, and could be your last day as well. For one of these two teams, that is going to be the case.
I'll tell you what, Flipside will be bitterly disappointed if they go out in group stages again. I guess you could say the same for Kawhi, but it feels like it's been a long time coming for Flipside to get out of groups and versus a Chinese team.
There's a good chance that they'll face a Chinese team as well, Ian.
In a BO3 environment, that's where they might flourish.
3 Chinese teams through already.
They just haven't had the chance. They didn't get the chance last year, and they're in the same position again if they lose to Kawhi.
Yeah, that would not be particularly enjoyable. Quite interesting the way that the upper bracket matches did work out with all 3 Chinese teams through and Carbon alongside them as well.
What's interesting about it?
Well, I mean, I thought we sort of were thinking maybe that
we wanted the dream.
Could be upset
but
in
then,
their group,
but then we discovered Q9 are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah. Carbon with a strong win over
Oh, here comes that aggression on the A side that we didn't see Flipside do. Oh, Flipside are going to fall back away from it. Not going to consider taking that fight. Kawhi, though, have kept the territory. That's a lot of real estate for them to have coming into the 2-minute mark of the round. And you can see Flipside have been choked out of the map. It'll be interesting to see how they retake all of this real estate. It's so much. They're really penned into a box at the back of the map at the moment.
It's going to take a fair bit of work. They've already used a lot of their grenades as well. Favor and Blame having now run out of theirs. Dennis with not much left.
Oh,
you wouldn't want to see that when you peek up, would you?
No, definitely not. The firing squad.
Pablo needs to get the heck out of there pretty quickly indeed. Spotting a few out as well. So we'll rotate over in toward middle.
It's quite a strong position that Pablo's got here. Although he is on his own, he's got Flitch for backup. Alejo would have been very handy just where Pablo is looking right now.
Yeah,
just that crossfire. Yep.
A side is very, very open right now for Flipside.
Still very difficult bottom side to get into, but they're not going in quietly, are they? So a few players left, strung out throughout the map. Dennis now might walk into Pablo.
Well, Dennis giving away his position a little bit there for Kawhi.
Pablo
is going to find 2. The 2-man spray down, almost turning into a 3rd, but eventually overwhelmed by Favor.
Well, job done, to be honest.
Yep, brings it back to the 3v3, which is exactly what Kawhi were looking for. And now with 25 seconds on the clock, Ian, Flipside have to scramble for a site. Clarence close.
Yeah, and Kawhi is spread out around like Splinter Cell agents. They just need to get 1 apiece at the moment. Although now, with that trade...
Well, I don't know, Ian. They're going to have to run into this site and plant the bomb.
Yeah.
You see the smoke come down, which will obscure the vision of Flitch and Felix. So should be safe enough for Flipside planting the bomb, and they do get it down in the end. But a very near thing.
Yeah. Well, if they both come in together like this, I'm not sure if Dice is going to be able to react quick enough.
Counter flash out from Dennis just to keep Kawhi at bay for seconds longer. Dennis does fall through the smoke. A good spot from Felix. Dice now in the 1v2. Will dispatch of the first. Has lost a lot of his HP though. Needs a clean shot and he'll get it. Flipside. What a round.
Damn, Dice. What a shot there at the end.
We're starting to get a bit more of a sense of what we saw maybe on Mexico yesterday, where it was a close match, and then flip side, the individuals started to step up and clutch a few rounds, and that's where Kauai let it slip. It could happen again here on Ankara.
Very defensive setup from Kauai this round. Although I feel like that aggression that they had in the last round didn't really go too badly. They just it came down to Alejo going down first and not having any impact. Really, that's all it was. Flip side again though, dealing with that whole aggression very well. Cleared out the whole map together as a team. They took their time. They did almost run out of time, Jordan, but nonetheless got the job done successfully without risk. And now they've got to do it all again. A little bit quicker now, but Alejo's still alive.
Dennis already down and Dice very low. Not a great start to the round for Flipside, that is for sure.
Dice goes down now as well. Yeah. Just getting picked off, and I think this is what Kauai was hoping for last round, but it just didn't go their way. But this time, they've put a stop to Flipside's strategy and really caused a lot of chaos. Now, Seven's going to have to perform a bit of a miracle here to get the 7th round for Flipside.
Well, that's exactly what he did yesterday, Ian. A 1v3 to find the 7th round.
Yep.
Funny how that works out.
Bit of a sniper duel here. That's what we want to see. Alejo goes for another bite of the cherry.
Seven's closing the distance a little bit here. We'll get the shot onto Alejo, slowly evening the odds. And the longer this plays out, easier it gets for him. But unfortunately, that'll be shut down pretty quickly indeed. The Kauai not particularly pleased with how the last round did go, so straight away they respond with one of their own.
They actually are looking quite stressed, aren't they? Well,
more mid presence for Flipside this time.
Yeah, a bit sneaky by Kauai. Flipside are going to have to work their way through the map to try and suss out the positions of Kauai, see if they are aggressive, try not to lose many numbers. Claren's in a really great spot here. We saw this one perform a lot of trouble last time we casted a map like this, Jordan.
Does get knocked over pretty quickly. A good trade back from Flipside. It's a 2-for-1 overall. They'll be happy with that one. Dice's position being the player with the C4, maybe not ideal. Needs to get in on that side and get the bomb planted.
Wow.
But he's being covered off quite nicely by his teammates, Alejo and Flitch. Now need to try and make some magic happen in a 2v3. Dennis will shut that one down pretty quickly, and it's just Flitch left alive. Spot out Dennis early on in the piece. So
you say just Flitch, but he's been sitting in this B bomb site the whole time, allowed the bomb to go down, and now he'll make his move. Great position for the bomb, though.
Yeah, very, very open plant there from Flipside. Possibilities for the double peak as well.
Oh, they're playing this perfectly, Flipside.
Yeah, there's nothing that he can do. Has to try and go forward and take the battle. He'll get Dice. Now just needs one more, and he gets it. Flitch. Is he going to get the defuse down in time?
No.
Doesn't look like it. So, unfortunately, even despite getting a pretty nice 2v1 in the end, he just left it a little too late. You could see that hesitation.
Yeah. Flipside were a little worried they had not done enough there, but ultimately comes their way, and they find themselves in the lead, and they're looking a lot more convincing now than they did yesterday.
I'd have to agree.
Slow starters, but they've broken away from Kauai. Only a 2-round lead, but still, it's been impressive in the fashion that it's been done.
Good news for the European fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, the performances of Penta so far have been quite acceptable, but Flipside would be the first European team through to the quarterfinals.
Well, we say European, but 4 Germans.
Yeah, well.
And a Slovakian.
Representing Europe at the very least.
Well, split up defense here for Kauai. Not really being tested yet, but C4 ready to go towards the A site for the first time in a while. Again, it's a risky bomb site to take. Flipside are using a bit of utility to try and bait out Alejo. Remember last time Alejo was in that position, he was able to get a kill onto 7, which forced to rotate late from Flipside towards the B site and was ultimately their undoing. But Flipside have got full control of the map now. All the rotation points cleared away. It's going to be up to Clarence here, I think, really, to, well, Flitch obviously going to be the first to make contact.
Well, now the explosion has to come. Kawhi have given it away, or rather flip side have given it away. Spotted out. Nice shot from Blame. He'll double down as well. Has to reload and eventually falls to Flitch.
Wow.
The teammates coming in, unable to trade. It's gone all wrong for Flipside. It started off so well. Dice trying to salvage the situation. 7 coming from a hidden angle.
7!
But does whiff. And Pablo shuts him down. It's a 2v1 for Dice. 30 seconds on the clock. C4 not in his possession. But Alejo's head certainly is. And Pablo gets tagged up heavily. This is definitely doable for Dice. But he needs to move quickly.
He's going on a bit of a flank now, trying to reposition. I reckon Pablo's all over this. He did lose a bit of damage in the smoke. You got to remember, Dice was just spamming away. He doesn't know the exact location of Pablo. And they got to come across each other. Dice with the flick. Wow.
Another clutch from Dice.
He's having a great day today. Yeah, I'm not worthy, 7. I'm not worthy. He's just doing work for Flipside.
Flipside's looking very pleased with themselves right now. Grins all around. They can feel it. They know that Kawhi has kind of lost a little bit of that magic that they had earlier in the half or earlier in this match.
Yeah, yeah.
It all seems to be going the way of Flipside now.
I don't know, man. That was such a seesaw round. Flitch did such great work to retake that B site, but it just wasn't enough. You saw how Clarence just got eliminated.
Yep.
Didn't even get a chance. Blame is so fast. To be honest, yeah, Blame, Favor, those two guys on the entry are just so good. Dennis now clearing out the choke points again. Kawhi, very passive, not getting much done in the way of, disrupting Flipside and trying to get some slim pickings here and there.
It's definitely a change up from what we saw at the start of the half where Kawhi were controlling a lot more of the map. Now they're sitting further back in their sights.
It kind of wasn't too successful for them, really, Jordan.
Yeah.
The 1-for-1 trades, they were great, but ultimately when it came down to the bomb site, the 2-on-2 situation at the end, they needed numbers and they didn't have it. Despite having map control, it really didn't net them any other rewards. So this 3-man hit squad for Flipside sticking together. The fake for Blame now onto the A site. Really selling it well with his teammate. And, well, 7 goes down, but here comes the real attack. Flitch falls out of the B site. Bomb will go down for Dice without a problem.
Yeah, easy done for Flipside. Yeah. That's good enough. 4v4, you're happy with this.
Yeah, fantastic positioning as well for Dennis, ready for that retake.
I mean, Favor as well, cutting off the rotation. Pablo's going to walk right into him. Favor won't win the aim battle, however. So that's 1 out of 4 for Kawhi. They need a few more kills.
That's a big loss as well. Favor's such a marksman for Flipside.
Just Dennis and Dice left alive now. They have to step up and all the Dice now. He's been able to clutch a few out, but not this one. Clarence, 2K.
That was a bit of a big ask, wasn't it, for the double Ds?
Yeah.
As Kawhi going to double down, get another round. And that was a lot better from them.
So match point still not quite achieved by Flipside. They're going to be left wanting at least another round here. I don't think that's shattered the confidence too much of Flipside, though. No. They recognize that that was just down to maybe some poor execution in the end. They did everything right, and then they just didn't really hit their shots. They had the bomb down. Post-plant was good. If they can just do that again, great start from 7.
I think with the way that that round panned out toward the end for the retake on the B site, Flipside really allowed Kawhi to dictate the pace of that retake. A lot of individuals, they threw away a lot of their crossfires, their positioning, their Favor going down without a trade. So that's where that round really broke down for me. Dennis, such a solid player. Just holding his own, something that, Flipside couldn't do last round. Clarence in that rotate hole, just looking through the vent. Spots out Dennis and falls back. They know that's Clarence's usual position.
Just playing the numbers game right now as Flipside.
Yeah, Kawhi getting a little bit desperate, Jordan.
They have to be at this point, 2v5, facing what will inevitably be a match point if you don't get something done.
Still think this has been a high-quality match so far.
Definitely nicely played from Flipside. I think they're looking a lot stronger today than they did yesterday, in my eyes, across the board.
Yeah. I think maybe also just getting that win yesterday could have been a lot for their confidence. And, fake confidence is better than no confidence.
Oh, great shot from Blame as well, punishing Clarence for some missed shots.
Yeah.
And Pablo, 1v5, has to come up with a miracle round right now for Kawhi. It'll be too much for him.
Yeah.
One round away now, Flipside.
Dennis having a great game.
Everyone having a great game on Flipside, it seems.
Yep. And the score, you know, it is only 3 rounds in it at the moment, but it does seem like Flipside are just that next level
feels
above.
more one-sided than a 9-6 would dictate.
Exactly,
wouldn't it?
yeah, yep. Yep, well, Kawhi have already bailed.
We win!
Yep. That'll be that then, I guess. No, just kidding. We'll wait for them to get back into the server. But this is not what you need if you're Kawhi, by the way.
No.
Match point on the line. Everything just shuts off. It'll give them a chance to take a break and a deep breath, but is that enough? Is that going to help them? Flipside's plan, still a secret. No contact was made in the start of that round, so Kawhi won't have any ideas of what's happening. So Flipside will be able to use it again.
One more.
One more is indeed all they need.
A bit more nervous, I think, on the side of Kawhi.
Yep. The momentum...
Winners are grinners, so they say, and that's exactly what Flipside are right now.
He's always smiling, though. If you can make any sense of that.
I don't know, mate. I'd be thinking thumbs up right now for Flipside.
Yeah. 1 round away from getting through.
Can't complain. Quarterfinal match will be a tough one for whoever they do end up facing. I think, really, when we look at the 4 teams that are already through, you definitely don't want to be versing any of those teams.
I'll be honest, if you're Flipside, like, you want to verse a Chinese team.
Do you?
You do. You do. You wouldn't want to come up against Carbon.
I think for the fans, like the Western fans, you certainly don't want to see Flipside and Carbon, or Penta and Carbon, for example.
Exactly, yeah. So I think if I'm Flipside, I've come here to defeat the Chinese. That's you've got to see in all the interviews, that's what they're saying. That's our goal. We want to get past the Chinese teams.
Well, that's really everybody's goal, isn't it?
Right.
China,
the gatekeepers of the CrossFIRE Championship.
They've been the winners years and years and years in a row.
Yeah, so if you get through to a knockout stage and you come up against the North Americans, you're like, well, I didn't even get a chance to prove myself.
Yeah, well. We'll see if Flipside can get there. It looks at the moment like they will be able to. Into what could be potentially the final round here.
I like this. Flipside didn't go towards A very often earlier on in the half. Now for match point. That seems to be their go-to. Dennis, again, clearing out the rotations. Going to check the ramp. Oh. Clarence, the X-ray deceiving us.
Yeah.
Not behind the box, but again in that vent room. But that noise from Dennis might just give away a bit of a clue to Kawhi what's going on.
Well, looks like it could be a fake here from Flipside on the A bomb site. They've left a couple of players there, but sending the C4 over to B.
Here it goes again. Blame and 7 probably as a team. Yep. This time Blame goes down. They're not going to fall for it. No, they're not falling for it this time. They know. Again, Bomb should go down on Dice. Now Dennis needs to get a better position. Same with Favor.
A lot of grenades being thrown in there. The smoke wall for
Bomb's still not down. Bomb's still not down, Jordan.
Will be soon. And Favor trying to make something happen. If he stays safe here or if he finds that frag, it could be huge.
Oh, Clarence.
What a flick from Clarence, though. Turns it into a 2v4. Now Dice and Dennis. Again, the 2 Ds for Flipside. Need to make something happen. Won't happen for Dennis, though. Again, onto Dice. 1v3. Clutch master for Flipside so far today. But, again, left wanting another round is Flipside.
Very nice. So that technical issue seems to have put some wind in the sails of Kawhi, gave him the chance to rethink, regroup, come back into this round with a bit of composure, perhaps. And that was a lot nicer. Again, that fake not really working out for Flipside. Losing 1 player, 7 unable to get back across to the B site to help out the boys. Dice taking too long to plant the bomb. And Kawhi on the retake, just getting those individual kills one at a time. That's all they need. They've got the numbers advantage after that. So this might be an opportunity for Flipside to say, hey, we're doing that same strategy again. Make it look like just Blame and 7. But in fact, it's the whole team.
I think that might be exactly it. It's going to be a contact play into the side here from Flipside. No utility to tell their intentions. And it works perfectly. 2 for 1. Flipside will be happy with that. Bomb site's opened up now as well. If they can get that smoke in for the...
Yeah. Alejo is sniping across from the other site. So they know there's like this invisible wall they can't go past. Or they'll walk into a possible Alejo sniper shot.
Well, Flipside have not fallen to that.
Well, this is really do or die for Kawhi now.
It's dire straits as well, isn't it? As Dennis gets Clarence. It's just Alejo now left in a 1v4. Seems impossible for him. And Flipside pushing on forward. They'll get the job done and secure their place through into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, fantastic work there by Flipside. They looked dominant the entire game. I know the game looked close to start with, I will say that, but Dice again with some really great clutches. And Kawhi, well, they'll be a little bit disappointed with themselves.
Yeah, that is the end of the run as well for them, and unfortunately, they've lost twice to Flipside. I guess it would have been unfortunate for Flipside if you win against Kawhi and then you lose against Kawhi and then you go out. So, at the end of the day, Flipside's certainly going to be very happy with that one.
Yeah.
But I think for Flipside, you know, it's good progression through from day 1 into day 2, but be looking for a lot more even from them heading into day 3.
Just strategically, they just looked a lot better today, you know, across the board. They had fakes going on, they had post-plant positioning, everything like that was going for them. So Kawhi, they looked fairly standard. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board and see if they can come back with some more technicality in their game, I guess you could say.
Definitely a little bit to think about for Flipside, but not a terrible performance by any means. Interested to see how they do go in their quarterfinal, who their quarterfinal is going to be against as well, because that's always a big question on everyone's lips.
Yeah, absolutely. This Flipside lineup, funnily enough, going 10-7 and 10-7 up against Kawhi. I can't help but feel for Kawhi, however, to have 2 matches go down to the exact same scoreline against the exact same team, and then you're out of CFS 2018, but I suppose they had 2 shots and weren't able to take either of them. If you wanted to stay,
you should have won your matches. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. I think the match has actually played out quite differently, even despite being a 10-7 scoreline on both cases. Initially, yesterday, we saw a big string of rounds for either side, but this time it was sort of one apiece for quite a while before Flipside had started to just edge ahead a little bit, and Kawhi couldn't quite catch up.
And you were saying that you felt that this Flipside team that we saw today was playing better than when they went up against Kawhi yesterday. What was it about this time that made you say that?
Okay, they were just playing a lot better as a unit. They had a lot of this teamwork going on, you know, 2 players here, 2 players there. They had their fakes, their timing on their fakes, everything like that was going well, but also just this bait and switch positioning that they had on their defensive side allowed one player to get multiple kills many times, and there was nothing that Kawhi could really do about that. Kawhi, they couldn't fake anything, they couldn't get anything going in their favor, they couldn't get peaks, they couldn't force any mistakes from Flipside, and that's why I think they were ultimately looking a lot better from the get-go.
Do they look good enough to take on one of our quarterfinal teams that we've already qualified to, whether that's one of the 3 Chinese teams or whether that's Carvin as we take a look at Blame, our MVP again, 17 and 13. Look, to be fair, he gets the frags on the board.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, on that defensive side, he was the man, wasn't he, really? He was getting 2 or 3 kills at that B site every single time. Sure, he was baiting Dice a little bit, but that's the way it is, right? That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it. And, you know, if you got a guy like Blame who can convert those kills, then why not?
Jordan, do you feel that this Flipside team are good enough to go up against one of these quarterfinals?
Yeah, it's a very good question, Ben. I don't know at this point if they actually are. I think looking at those 4 quarterfinalist teams, or the 4 winners teams out of each bracket, they're all very, very strong in my eyes. I mean, Carbon, they had a couple of very, very tough matches. I think they've got a lot of match practice that maybe Flipside might not necessarily have gotten so far. We've already seen that they have gone down to Q9, which has generally been considered the quote-unquote weakest Chinese team. So outside of Q9, who they can't draw into because they come from the same group, you're either going up against AG or Super Valiant, who are very, very strong competition. And then there's Carbon as well, who have already showed some good performances at this event. I think Flipside might be meeting their match in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I have to go back to what Ian said before, where he thought that they might prefer to go up against one of the Chinese teams, because at least then you could say, I went up against the Chinese and I wasn't good enough up against them, but you know, that was maybe to be expected. If you go down against a team like Carbon, yes, they're fantastic, but it's not one of the top 3 from you know, what is the heart of CROSSFIRE here in China.
You didn't really get to test your mettle.
Yeah, that's it. So look, it's a little bit tough in that regard. Whoever they go up against, it's going to be a big ask.
Definitely, I think what we want to see from Flipside when they do inevitably go into their quarterfinal matches, those individuals to step up again. I think that's where their success is going to be coming from. We saw it yesterday from Seven. Blame has been consistent across the board, but Seven and Dice for me have been the ones that have really been able to step up late in the rounds, in the rounds that you might not expect to win. And I think in matches against, for example, Super Valiant or AG, there is going to be quite a few of those rounds where maybe Flipside don't start off so well, but if they can bring it back, if they can find a victory with that, then definitely they need to be coming and relying on those winners.
Well, let's throw it across to Matt on the stage for an interview.
Years ago when you made it all the way to a grand final, and during the end of that match there against Kawhi, You were looking at the camera and like just having a little bit of fun, so it all looked very relaxed, but you're not very happy really with how you did.
Yeah, actually I played pretty bad, so sorry to all my fans, but tomorrow I'm gonna perform in the quarterfinals for sure, and thanks to my team who carried me in this game, and yeah, I'm quite happy that we made it through.
In yesterday's game against Kauai, their first game of the group, you did look like you were rallying your team. You looked like you were shouting at them quite a lot during that match as well. So fair's fair if they've been carrying you now.
Yeah, it's fair, yeah.
Earlier on today, played Q9 in the winners bracket match.
Yeah.
That was a great contest. You lost it in the end to them. What do you think, looking back on it, you would have done differently?
Actually the start was pretty bad. I think we played a bit too defensive, so next time we should play a bit more offensive in the end.
So we're going to see a more aggressive Flipside tomorrow.
Maybe, let's see. Depends on the map, so yeah.
Yeah, of course it's best of threes in the quarters, so that makes a difference for you because this was not your preferred map.
Yeah, definitely.
So you can choose now, not tomorrow, but you can choose now. You won't be able to play Q9 in the quarterfinals, of course they're in the same group as you, but it's Carbon, AG and SV who are the other confirmed quarterfinalists. At the end of today, we'll do the tournament draw, and those #1 seeds of each group will pick their opponent. One of them will pick you. Who do you want to pull you out of the bowl? Who do you want to face?
I definitely want Carbon because I guess it's time for revenge. We lost last year in the quarterfinal, and this year we're gonna beat them if we face them.
You don't want to get SV, the big grand final from 2 years ago?
It's okay, I mean they're not that strong anymore, no offense, but I want Carbon.
You want Carbon in the quarterfinals,
Carbon,
and then SV can come later on in the grand final, and that's when you beat them, or semi-final. All right, it's a confident but slightly disappointed today, but quarterfinalist 7. Congrats, Luca. Pleased for you and the guys. Flipside Tactics are through to the quarterfinals. Kauai leave us at this stage. Commiserations to them. Don't go anywhere. It's do or die matches for the rest of today. We'll go to Group B next and see who else makes it to the quarters of CFS 2018.
December 2018, CROSSFIRE Stars begins a new fight. CFS 2018 will gather 24 top teams from 11 regions around the world in Taitung and Nanjing, China for Project S. December 4th to 6th, the group stage matches, the tournament stage quarterfinals, and semifinals will take place in Taitung. December the 8th, event matches for CROSSFIRE HD featuring top teams will be awaiting in Nanjing. December the 9th, the CROSSFIRE Legends tournament along with the CROSSFIRE final matches will determine the CFS 2018 World Champions. Guns are locked and loaded, and players are ready for an intense clash.